Good morning and welcome to Free Webinar Friday with me, Kristan of Market Your Clinic Online. As always, I'll be talking for about 10-15 minutes, and then if you have anything at all you'd like to talk about as regards clinic marketing, drop your questions in the chat and we will discuss them at the end. So this is the last in the current series of webinars about SEO fundamentals and the basics of doing SEO for your clinic. We're going to have a little break after this webinar because I'll be traveling. So we'll be back in November with a new series of webinars about your website and what to do with your website and how to optimize it. But today is the last one in this series, and we're going to look at local SEO ranking factors. So basically where we've looked over how to find terms to target, how to measure your SEO, what you should be tracking, how to do basic website optimization. Now we're going to look over all of the different things that contribute to ranking your website on Google and ranking your business on Google, with some examples of how we do them along the way, which should help you to understand what local ranking things you can do and what you can expect from an agency if an agency is doing it for you. But there's absolutely nothing to stop you doing all of this yourself as well. So let's dive straight in and just share the other screen. Here we go. This is our knowledge base, which if you go to our website, you can see free resources knowledge base right here. And what we're going to look at today is all contained in this article, local ranking factors, which is here. So what I'm going to do is talk through this article and different things and give you some examples of them along the way. So these are all gauged out of 5 in terms of importance. Now, that's a little bit misleading because honestly, all of these things are important. There's nothing here that's not important. It's just really a question of can you rank without them? So where some things might have a 2 out of 5, doesn't mean that it's not important. It just means it is possible to rank without that. Whereas proximity to search, you're not going to rank for a search in London if you're in Scotland. That's where these importance things come from. So let's dive straight in. Sorry, I'm a little bit hoarse, so just let me have a sip of coffee. So keywords in your Google business profile name and your primary category. This is probably the first and most important thing. So if I'm here where I am in Greenwich, I am here at the moment on this map, and I've just done a search for Greenwich dentist. So we see that pretty much everyone comes up has, there we go, dental, 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 Greenwich, dental, 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 Greenwich, dental, Greenwich. The only one that doesn't have any keywords here is this White's Westcombe Park. But if you look at the ones that have come up top in the local pack here, Greenwich, dental, dental, Greenwich, dental, Greenwich. They've all got the keywords in their business name. So if your dentist is also local to me, but you're called Tom's Teeth, then you're at a massive disadvantage compared to the ones who have the key terms in their business name. It's a really, really big thing. So that's the first thing there. Keywords in your Google business profile name and also your primary category. You can see all of these say dentist, dentist, dental clinic. If you don't have your primary category set correctly, then your chances of ranking are, if this was set to sweet shop or library or something, your chances of ranking for dentist are pretty much 0, as well they should be. Proximity to search, we've just spoken about. Now, there's not really anything you can do about that. Your clinic is where your clinic is. We've talked about having multiple Google business profile listings in a previous webinar, but let's just move on from that because your clinic is where your clinic is, basically. Reviews, now that's very important. Again, it's no coincidence that the ones that come up top here, 495 reviews, 146 reviews, 352 reviews. Google likes reviews, customers and patients like reviews, so be doing everything you can to consistently keep getting reviews from your patients. It's interesting that 4.2, that's quite low. When someone gets a lot of reviews, 4.5 to 5 is typical, and there's been research that shows consumers actually have more faith in a business which doesn't have 5 stars but has kind of 4.7, 4.8, because everyone knows every now and then you get a complete arsehole come along who's going to leave you a 1-star review for no good reason. Next, Google business profile completeness. So just to look at Hicks Health here. Here we look at the business profile. There's plenty of photos. Then we've got products here that show the different things that they do. We've got product categories set up. We've got a nice description that says what they do. And we've also got regular posts here about what's going on at the clinic, linking back to the website. And if we were to click through to services, which we're not going to because that's not public facing, so that would be trade secrets being given away, but we would see that there's lots of services listed in there as well, which is also good for SEO. And that's what we mean by Google Business Profile completeness, is you've used all of these different things and are also regularly updating your profile. Another thing you can do is, we haven't got any questions and answers here, so that's another way to fill out your Google Business Profile for completeness. And the general website optimization, I know we've missed something, keywords in landing page, here we go. So it's all very well and good to optimize your website, optimize your Google Business Profile, but what you really want to make sure, if you're targeting, for example, Greenwich Dentist, that I click through to a page that's full of the words Greenwich and Dentist. And the same thing holds very true for Google Ads as well. If you're doing Google Ads, your landing pages should be, let's not say stuffed, but should be, you know, liberally splattered with your key terms. So just as an example here, this is Tim Wood's Raynham page, and this is absolutely brilliant. So if I'm searching for Raynham osteopathy, osteopath Raynham, I click through to this page, Raynham osteopathy, osteopaths, Raynham osteopath, Raynham clinic, Raynham osteopathy, Raynham is absolutely perfect. This is really well done. So yeah, that will help you to rank, having your keywords in your landing page as well as in your Google Business Profile. Then the next thing, general website optimization, which we've kind of covered in the previous couple of webinars, looking at title tags, meta tags, H1 tags, so on and so on. Moving on then to pillar page content. So let's say I want to rank again for osteopathy. This is an osteopathy pillar page for Sphere in Blackheath, just up the road from me. I highly recommend Nero, really nice guy. So again, this is lots of content about osteopathy. And you'll see also in the H2 tags, we're doing osteopathy, Blackheath, osteopathy, osteopath, osteopathic, osteopath. We're really hitting that term. We've also got lots of outbound links to places like, sorry, I'm looking over my laptop to see the other screen, Cleveland Clinic there, Healthline, that's an internal link, internal links, NHS, internal link, lots of internal linking and lots of authority outbound linking. We've also got a lot of content, which is the main thing. We've got a medical review section, so Google knows this is bona fide medical advice. And we've got lots of marketing stuff, call to actions and so on as well. That's what we mean by a good pillar page. So pillar page content is there, and you need a pillar page for every term that you want to rank for. So that's why, again, if we look at Sphere, we've got pillar pages for all the different services, and we've also got pillar pages for various different conditions. It's a very well done website, if I do say so myself. So moving on, locally relevant content. Now this is something that SEOs have started to talk about a lot in the last year or so. It's having content that's not just relevant to what you do, but it's actually relevant to the local area. And that makes you more locally relevant to Google. So when someone's making this local search, then Google says, okay, you're searching for something in, let's say, Manchester, for example. This website not only has that service that you're looking for, but also have lots of information about Manchester and directions from places in Manchester. So you must be relevant for Manchester. I'll return this result. So to give you some examples of that, this is Just One Body's clinic page. So here what we've done is lots of content, always lots of content, lots of internal links, the Google map, but also directions from other places that they'd like to target, plenty of practical information, and then also a local map with local things going on, public transport with links. So Google knows this is linking to places that are relevant to those particular places, and also local guides to places that I'd like to target. So this has loads of information about Waterford. We tend to do 40 outbound links, custom map, when we do these pages in an FAQ section. Another example, here's a guide to local activities in Belfast, again with a custom map. So Google's looking at this and Google's saying, okay, you're obviously relevant for sports physiotherapy, but now you're much more relevant for Belfast as well. I can return you as a good result for physiotherapy Belfast. That's locally relevant content. So then behavioral factors. This is a good one. Although Google deny it, I think it's been SEOs have known for a long time that Google are measuring things like time on page. Is this the final destination in your search, or do you click the back button and go to another website, i.e. has this answered your question? Do you take an action, i.e. contact them, fill in a form or something else, and using those behavioral factors as metrics in whether or not you're going to rank. Now, as I said, for a long time, Google denied this and said, no, we haven't got our own browser, i.e. Chrome, just so we can monitor what people are doing online and know what results to return. And then when we had the Google API leak, was it this year? I believe earlier this year, it was full of endpoints for time on page. Is this the final destination in the search? So on and so forth. So, we don't know the weighting of it, but we do know that this is important. So what you can do for that is just follow the basics, really. Make sure your content is good. Make sure your content is engaging. If you put videos on page, they'll keep people on the page longer. And just try and ensure that your content isn't just, some thin AI generated stuff, but is really quality content with lots of inbound links that's going to keep someone on your site for longer. The longer someone stays on your site, the better your site will rank. So that moves us on to another sip of coffee. The quality and quantity of inbound links. And this is where SEO starts to we get into the wild west of SEO, as I will show you in a second. Google is basically looking at how authoritative is your website. And one of the crucial factors, if take away locality from it, let's imagine it wasn't a local website, then the only thing that's important really is how many inbound links you have and how good they are. So if your website is linked to by 1,000 other websites, including places like the BBC, Wikipedia, Healthline, NHS, huge websites with loads of authority, then your website will be seen as hugely authoritative and you will top all the searches. If no one's linking to you, your website will be seen as less important by Google, all other things being the same. Now, link building, I've got an example here somewhere. Maybe I don't. Let's just show you quickly. Fat Joe is one of the UK's leading link building services, right? For a DA50 website, for a link from this, you're looking at £280 plus £60 to write the content, which is £340 plus VAT. And then your agency is typically going to double that to you. This is a white label service. You see here it says example white label report, which means you're paying about in the region of £700 plus VAT for that link. That's absolutely crazy. So to give you an example of one of those links, here's a couple that we built for one of our clients. So this is on It's Released, which is a high DA website that fits the bill of, here it is, that fits the bill of everything we've got here. And another example, this is the Open University of Essex website, which is extremely high authority and has about 500,000 visitors a month. Both of these are articles about pathology services, which link back to our client here, Salient Bio. Now, as I said, your average agency that links back to our client as well. That's an authority link. Your average agency will charge you, I know one agency who charges £2,000 a month for 4 links like this. And that's not bad in terms of agency terms. We build these most of these cost £120. That's what we charge for it, because we don't go through places like Fat Joe who are marking up people who are marking up people who are marking up people who are marking up people, and then they're marking it up. We get direct from the platforms. We write our own content, so we can deliver these a lot cheaper. So there's nothing wrong with using these services. We've used them before. I used them when we were first getting started, but if you do your research and if you contact people and you put the slog in, you can build links a fraction of the price of what most agencies are actually charging for them. So that's the other type of link that you can get. I mean, there are all sorts of links you can get, but this is a press release that we've built for one of our clients. This is a paid press release distribution service. So this talks about our client and what they're doing. And then again, this links back to their website. This links back to their website. So Google sees them as being in the news. Google sees you as being in these magazine websites, as being on a university website, and so on and so forth, and says you're important. People are talking about you. even though it's all a little bit paid for and contrived. You know, paying for links is officially against the rules, but it's one of those things that absolutely everybody does in one way or another. You know, if I'm creating interesting content for your website and you're publishing it for free, I'm still paying for it by creating interesting content. Nothing's for free, you know. But paying for it explicitly is something that absolutely everybody does, despite it being technically against Google rules. So moving on, NAP citations. Now we're getting more into stuff like how you build authority for a local business as opposed to a national business or just any website. So NAP citations are listings on business directories. So let's find an example here. Here we go, Scoot. So this is, I'm going to show you a few different ones that we built for Hutchinson Health. So this is a really sort of plain ordinary business directory linking. A NAP citation means name, address, and phone number. So it's got name, address, phone number is hidden there. You have to click it to reveal. There we go. Okay, so that will, you know, the more of these you have around the internet, the more NAP citations, even though, quite frankly, I'm sure absolutely nobody ever visits these websites to look for a business. The more of these that you have, the more Google says, oh, okay, this business is relevant, this business is mentioned in lots of places, I can have more faith in this business, I can return this business in local results. Now, you want sort of, and we aim sort of 30 to 50 of these for the average client, and we also build what we call fundamental links, which are, or foundational links is our internal term, which are things like creating a MySpace account and linking that back to your website, creating an image library account, and where there's a place to put your website address, you put it and that creates a link. So we'll build about 80 of those. They are the absolute low-level fundamental links, very, very low authority, but you want to create a pyramid of authority with your links. So you have a few that are very high authority and lots that are very low authority. So moving back to NAP citations, what's even better than a local business directory listing like this is something that's either locally or niche relevant. So to show you a couple of other ones that we built for Hutchinson, this is a locally relevant link because it's 3 best chiropractors in Portsmouth. So here he is, Hutchinson Health, one of the 3 best chiropractors in Portsmouth. This is a great website to be on, by the way, 3 best rated. Whenever we do competitor research, the best competitors are always on 3 best rated. So word to the wise. The other great type as well as locals, you could find your local council has a business directory, that sort of thing. That's a good local business directory to be on. The other thing to do is look for niche directories. So this is a directory just for chiropractors, which again, we've listed him on, and that will help. That's better than just a plain old NAP citation. This one we actually had to pay for. Then there are there's, you know, solicitors up, plumbers up, everything up, basically. There's a good little thing they've got going on because we all pay to be on these websites and they just have a directory, but that will help as well. Then local links, actually genuine local links from other businesses and other places and other companies. So to give you a couple of examples of this is a post on Bluefinch Dental in Fulham, but this is actually a post by the White Hart Clinic in Bunn. So both of these are our clients, and we just did reciprocal links between the two. White Hart wrote an article for Bluefinch. Bluefinch wrote an article for White Hart. They both link back to each other. We've done this for quite a few clients now, and they have a map of how to get from one clinic to the other clinic. So Google just starts to see you as much more plugged into the local ecosystem. And other places locally are linking to you, you're linking to them. So it just implies that you're much more trusted locally, and a result that Google can return with a lot more confidence. And once you've done 1 or 2 of these, you know, we put clients together to do these, but you can start by reaching out to local people that you know and asking them for a post. And then once you've done that, it's then a bit easier to do other local outreach and contact other local organizations with blogs and say, hey, how about a reciprocal post? It's good for your SEO, it's good for our SEO. And what we'll typically do, so here, for example, this is a dentist and a physiotherapist. So now we will do outreach on behalf of the dentist, and we might target maybe places like opticians, anything basically, hearing centers, that sort of thing, anything that's kind of medical related but not in competition, and say, how about a guest post, you know, osteopaths, chiropractors, that sort of thing as well, counselors. anything really that's not competitive but is still a niche relevant or healthcare relevant, let's say sector relevant. Another good example of a local link is here. This is Beckenham Sports Club, and we brokered a partnership between Beckenham Sports Club and Hicks Health. So now Hicks Health is on here with a link back to their website from a well-respected local sports club. Again, it's niche relevant because it's sports and they do sports injury, sports massage, but it's also just a local link from a well-respected website. So that's pretty much all of the main things you'll be wanting to do in order to rank locally, and to keep building on those will keep you ranking higher and higher and higher. And where we looked at monitoring your SEO in a previous webinar, hopefully that will keep your SEO, your map, reaching further and further outwards, your niche terms going upwards and upwards and upwards as you go along. And you can just keep on building all of these things. I'm just trying to stop sharing now. There we go. You can just keep building these things as you go along. SEO isn't a sort of do it once and forget about it kind of thing. Just keep on going with it, keep on going with it, keep looking for more local links, keep adding more pillar content, keep adding supporting content, keep adding local content as you go along. If you're doing it on your own, just try and set aside a few hours a week or whatever works for you to just be consistent in your marketing and consistent in your SEO. Or if you'd like to talk about an agency doing it for you, then of course hit us up, and hit us up anyway with any questions. If you'd like to take a look at your website and your marketing, we will do that on a half-hour free call. So just book it via the website. That's all for today, and that's all now until November, when we'll pick up the free webinar Fridays again with the next series on your website. So I hope this has been useful. If you're watching the replay, thank you very much for joining, and I will see you all very soon in November.